Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're just going to go over basic supply stuff. I get so many questions about supplies. I like to use this is what I'm always using, Liquitex Basics acrylics in the primary colors. So the paint literally says primary blue, primary red, primary yellow. Not all of those colors are always primaries, which won't always work for everything. So I recommend starting with your primaries because it's going to work better. And then I usually use some kind of Princeton real value brushes. The real values are they're more cost effective ones, are a little bit less expensive, but I just find they really work well. Bristles don't fall out. They're good. And then these would be kind of a cheaper brush. So sometimes people say, I just want whatever's cheap as possible because they're just doing it one time. Then you can go with a really cheap brush like this, but the bristles eventually will fall out and they'll lose their shape and you just can't really reuse them. But if you want something that's economical and that you could use if you just think you might want to do it again, or you just want to have some decent brushes on hand, these are so great. So there's so many different varieties and sets that you can use. This is a decent one if you're painting on a small canvas, like I usually do in my YouTube videos, but they have many other varieties. And you can find all those in my supply guide on my website, which I'll also link in this video so you can check that out. But what I'm going to do today is just show you how to mix the basic primary colors and how to make different colors out of them. So some people like to mix their paint with a palette knife, but you could always just use a brush too. The first color I'm going to make is brown because that's like one color that people ask a lot about, or I might have a painting where I actually add brown, especially for my in-event classes, because it's just, you're mixing a lot of paints together to get that color. So it can make it hard if you're mixing a lot of other colors and you're just beginning, but it's very possible to make brown from your primaries. And my favorite way to do it, and there's many ways, is to just take a little bit of yellow and then maybe even a little bit less red. So it's like heavy yellow, less red, and it will create a light orange. So you should have like a light orange color. I'm just mixing with my palette knife, maybe even a little more yellow. This just helps you not waste paint as much, because if you do it with a brush, it'll get in your bristles and then you can't really use it if it's not the right shade yet. And then I take a teeny tiny bit of black and mix that in until it gives me the shade of brown I want. So notice how fast the black takes over. It's super, super dark. It kind of takes over kind of fast. Now, if your brown has a greenish tint to it, you need a little more red. Okay. Now, if it has more of if it looks too red, you need more yellow. So you can adjust the paint according to that. Now, you could also use your primary colors to make brown. And notice how it's kind of a medium shade of brown. It's not too dark or light. I'll show you what it looks like on the canvas. So if I were to take this brown and put it on the canvas, it's still kind of yellowy, but it's like a light brown. Pretty good. Now, if you add white to it, you're going to be seeing that. Notice how it has kind of a golden tone to it. That's kind of a golden brown. Now, if you want to add a little more red to it, it's going to bring it more into that kind of sienna brown color. So, you can change the shade by just adding either more red or yellow. This will make it more golden. This will make it more of a sienna or a red. And then if you want it more of like an umber or a darker shade of orange or brown, excuse me, I just add more black. So if I want like a dark brown, maybe I add a little more red and black to it, because those are both a little bit darker than yellow. And it's going to make my paint look darker and darker. And notice how now I have a dark brown. Okay, so that's really all you need to know about that. You can go into more detail, like if you're doing skin tones and things like that, it's pretty much a variation of that. So, if you wanted it more of a skin tone, depending on the color, you have all of these skin tones. You have like a dark, a medium, kind of tan with yellow or red undertones. And then maybe you want to make it lighter, you're just adding more white. So, or darker, more black. So it's very easy to change the undertone with the red or the yellow. and then change the lightness by adding white or adding black. Very easy. And also adding red. So maybe I don't have any like really red undertoned shades here. So if I added like more red and more white, then you would get into the lighter tones. So I didn't really do that. I don't want to skip that. Okay, so we have the lighter all the way to the darker and everything kind of in the middle. But there, obviously can go infinity. You can have infinity different shades here. But this is just really basic to show you which direction you can go in with those colors. Now, the next thing we're going to do is just do a quick little primary color mixing. So for those who maybe, this is kind of getting a little more complicated. You're not mixing just, obviously yellow and red makes orange, red and blue makes purple, all that good stuff. But I do want to talk a little bit about different shades and mixing and how you can get like shade variations on your primaries. So for example, if I wanted a warmer shade of red and I'm starting with my primaries, I would just add a touch of yellow to it so that it still looks red, but you just have a little bit of yellow and it will give it a fiery undertone and it makes it almost look brighter. Okay. And that is one way that you can do some subtle color mixing. Now, if I were to do like a 50-50 yellow and red, this is going to bring me more into an orange color. More yellow is going to be a lighter orange. So just make sure, as you go lighter, I didn't really go lighter there. As you go lighter, you're just adding more of the light color or more of the dark color, depending on what you want to see. The white will make things look more pastel. And then even I'll talk about adding black too. But next, if I were to do, like say you have primary blue, but you're doing a painting that requires ultramarine blue. So say I'm doing a sky and I'm using ultramarine blue, but all you have is primary blue. All you need to do, I'm going to show you what the primary looks like by itself. So primary by itself, it's looking kind of vibrant. If you rub it out, you can kind of see the almost greenish under. It's almost moving towards turquoise. It's very bright, but it's not. It's true primary. You will only need to add a tiny bit of red to that to bring it more into a cooler ultramarine color. It'll also darken your blue. So see how that looks darker? And when I rub it out, it gives me a different shade. Okay, so that's all you need to do to create your ultramarine if you're working with your primaries. And you're like, why my blue is looking so bright, but I want this more subtle blue. And you can also test your color by adding white to it to see like if that's where the mixing is happening. Like usually when I paint a sky, I will add white to it, typically. But adding a little bit of red to it is going to give you that sort of softer blue, that more baby blue. Whereas this is going to give you more of a vibrant blue. But that's why I recommend these, because you can pretty much mimic the colors of any other color the easiest with these primary shades. It's harder to use, say if I wanted to use ultramarine to make like a really bright turquoise, I couldn't, because it has red mixed in and turquoise also has yellow. Anytime you have red, yellow, and blue in the same mix, it will begin to make it look duller. So sometimes we want dull, but sometimes we want vibrant. So if we wanted a bright, vibrant turquoise, it would be hard to get using the ultramarine as your starting blue, which is why I don't recommend it as if you're just going to get 3 shades of your primaries. So to keep it more economical, your true primaries are going to be far more versatile, because you can make ultramarine, but ultramarine can't make turquoise, but primary blue can make turquoise. So let's make turquoise because we're talking about it. So if you clean your brush and you use your blue and you just pop in a touch of yellow, this is going to give you that blue-green color. Then you will add white. And now you have some turquoise vibes. Okay. Now, if you want it a little more greenish, add more yellow and more white. And then it makes it a little bit more greenish, a little brighter. more white, even more bright, you know, more yellow, leaning more towards green, more towards like a mint color. So this is kind of fun to play with your blue, knowing, okay, I can get that turquoise with the primary blue, but I could also turn that primary blue into one of those darker shades of blue that I need if I need to. But you could also buy extra shades if you really want to too. But I just wanted you to know why I'm starting with these and how you can create something like similar to an ultramarine. It won't look as exactly the same though. So, but it will be a lot closer and easier to achieve something very similar with the primary. So I just want to be clear on that. So you're like, but it's not 100% exact. It's like, well, if you're not using that exact paint, no matter what, it's not going to be exactly the same because it's not the same paint, but you can get close to it. Now, another thing to keep in mind with these is your purple. So purple is just your blue and your red. Now, a lot of times people are like heavy on the blue, and it makes, again, that's more of like going to give you this kind of color when you're making purple. So you really want to be heavy on the red because the blue is going to be stronger. And then we have our purple. So again, this is going to give you a decent purple. It's not the best purple in the world, but you're going to get purple at least. Whereas if I were using an ultramarine, or I mean, if I was using like a fire red, a red that had yellow in it, which is what we created right here, if I were to mix that with my blue, it just because it has a little bit of yellow in it, look, I just added that fire red into my blue and notice the huge difference. It literally is gray. So just adding a tiny bit of yellow into your red, just with the primaries here, is going to change your purple quite a bit. And this is the problem I see people run into a lot when they're starting with something like, you know, maybe they have a primary blue, but they don't have a primary red. They have red with a little bit of yellow mixed in. And those are called fire red, cad red, things like that. So if you have scarlet red, so those are going to be the reds that have a little bit of yellow in to begin with. Not ideal for making purple if you're mixing your colors. So that's just the way it is. So you know how to make your brown, you know how to come in and make a turquoise, you know how to change your shades of blue and red. So again, maybe you do want that fire red for some things. It's okay. You can make that by adding a little yellow to your primary red. You're good to go. Same with the blue. Maybe you want a darker shade of blue, add a little bit of red into your blue to get that darker shade of blue. Now your black is there for, I like using it to make brown, but you can use it to change your colors too. So if you wanted to add some black into your orange, for example, this will give you like a burnt orange, just a little bit, if you add just a tiny bit. So if I do that, adding the black, it almost looks similar to what we're doing here. It's like you can have like that burnt orange, but you just want a tiny bit of black. You still want it to look orange. And if you have just a tiny bit of black, you're going to get a burnt orange, which is really pretty. So same with the black and adding it to like your red. This can give you sort of a burgundy color, but you want to have mostly red and just a tiny bit of black. And this will start to bring your red into this like darker shade of more of a burgundy color, which is pretty. It is really pretty. I love this color. Add white to it and it kind of gives you this dusty rose. It's great. I love it. So, you know, black can come in handy for changing the paint to do things like that. Same thing with your green. So say I wanted a darker shade of green, I can make my green with my yellow and blue. Start with like a medium green. And then if you add a little bit of black into it, it'll give you a darker shade of green. So then I have like dark green. You can rub it out to see how that looks. Notice how it looks really earthy. If you add white to that, then you're going to get this really pretty, more of an earthy green. Now you can also add more yellow to that and it will give you, it's still more earthy because it has a little bit of black in it. I love these beautiful shades right here. They're so fun. Notice how if I spread them out, I can kind of see their look a little bit better. So I highly recommend making some little experiments, mixing paints together, seeing what they're going to do when you do what, before you put it on something that you actually care about what the outcome is. Even though throughout the process, I always invite you to just let it go. You don't have to care so much about how it turns out. Just have fun exploring the ideas and the techniques and see what happens. Because, you know, ultimately, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Some people even like mixing yellow and black to get green, like a green shade. So see how this comes to make a dark green. You don't even need the blue. It's different if you don't add the blue, but you're still going to get something that looks greenish. Surprisingly, sometimes people are like, oh, if you mix yellow and black, you get kind of a green vibe thing going on, but it's different. There's just so many, it's infinite. You can make so many colors. And then obviously, you know, your black and white mixed together is just going to make your gray, shades of gray. So you have all of that going for you too. But one of my favorites, my favorite colors to create is like a blue gray. So I like to mix blue with a little bit of black. I love this color. So it's different than what you're doing with like trying to get ultramarine. So sometimes people say, oh, I'm going to add black to darken my blue. It's like, especially if they're looking at an ultramarine as what they're trying to accomplish, but you really don't want to use black for creating ultramarine. You want to use red. So blue plus red, a little bit of red, mostly blue, is going to give you that more ultramarine result. Whereas the blue and black is going to give you much more of a gray undertone, more like, so it won't be the same. So notice how when I add white to that color, it's just so different. So this would be blue black and this is blue red. Notice the difference. They're different. So you kind of have to, this is why I'm doing this video, so that you know what's happening. And again, because I get so many people asking like, oh, I see brown in the painting, do I need to buy brown? Yes, you can, but you don't have to. You can use the primaries to make brown and mix it as you go, which again can be challenging for people if they're just starting out. But I hope this video helps with how to mix your, again, the brown is red and yellow plus black, adding more black to make it darker and then less black to make it lighter. And then you could also add white to make it lighter. So if you're doing like a beach with sand, you're going to be using the white to make it lighter because you want the sand to look light. You might want the sand to look dark in some spots to create shadows. So you'll be using a variety of these brown shades to create a beach scene. And you can do that with the primaries, no problem, okay? And that's it. I think I've covered whatever I can think of in this moment, you know, and this is an endless, color mixing is an endless adventure, which I love so much. I find it so magical and therapeutic to just mix the paint and see what happens, play around with it, you know, explore. It's an exploration. So again, I also have a full kind of color wheel tutorial within my acrylic painting course where I go over, you know, more just like a basic color wheel, and keeping it really straightforward, playing with brush strokes and everything. Again, it's an endless thing. And I try to keep things as most simple and as fun as possible so you can play around and get to the good part, which is just creating something from nothing. So thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure to give a like and subscribe. If it wasn't, leave me a comment. Leave me a comment if you liked it too. Don't only bad comments. It's always sad. But, you know, leave me a comment and just give me some feedback. Be like, oh, I liked this, but I really want to know about this. Maybe I didn't go over a certain color, or maybe you have a question about color mixing that I didn't answer. So leave a comment. That way I can address it and I can have more ideas to make stuff that's helpful for you. And have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. Bye.